Jane Alexander at Andy Lake Chainsaw Stuff, or what is
Andy Lake Woodworks.
Andy Lake Woodworks, okay. And with me is Scott Petry. Scott, you're actually the man behind all of these cool carvings and so many more here in Glyndon, Minnesota, right off Highway 10.
Yes, ma'am. I do carve full-time here. That is my full-time job. And then we also do some custom log buildings like you see behind us. And I run that as well. I don't build anymore, though. I'm too busy carving. So
you still got a company that does all the building. You've got your friends and family that do all the building still, right? But now you're making all these carvings full time. I mean, look at the skull Viking over here, and the Native American, and the moose, and the goat bison. I mean, it's all here, and then all the different animals. And I mean, every lake home needs at least one of these.
At least. And I try to avoid, the common bears and eagles that you see other places. I try to get into some real art and take on the challenges that people bring me. So you pretty much, I try not to be stumped by anybody. So if they want me to try it, I'll give it a whirl.
I like how you said stumped.
Yeah. Actually, no pun intended there at all. But
well, it was there. And let me tell you now, if somebody's got like an uncle or somebody, a grandpa that and they want you to do his picture, kind of almost cartoonish, can you carve a person's face?
I can't say I've matched an exact person yet. I've carved Elvis, of course, some Indian chiefs, some golfers, but I have not matched an exact person yet. Okay, so if anybody wants me to give it a whirl, I will. Okay.
Well, I know this is just amazing stuff, and I love the bears and the eagles, and I mean this cardinal. I mean, how cool is that? Just all the different things. I mean, it's absolutely. How long does it take you to do? Like, point to one and tell me how long it would take, like start to finish.
Well, just like a magician doesn't tell anybody their tricks, I don't usually say how long it takes me, but once a carving is completed for the day, we'll call it, it does need to be burned, generally resanded, and then it's about a 2 to 3 week process of oiling multiple times a day and or varnishing once a day until it is done. So it is a lengthy process. Most logs are dried for several years, if not more. So it does take, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. Of course, the chips flying in the air, that's the exciting part, of course, but that's just a small step of the whole process.
Wow, yeah, that's a lot. And I know that every once in a while, I mean, you get like special wood in, special logs, and I mean, how do you know how long to let those sit and dry?
Well, a lot of times I just pay higher prices for dried stuff. It makes for less coats that I have to put on it anyway, so it does save me a little money in that sense. But the wood, it is expensive to get quality wood, and I want to make nice pieces of art. I'm not making knick-knack stuff that goes for a few bucks. So I want to make things that last. I know a lot of these are very special to people, especially custom orders. So I try to make carvings that'll last generations and hopefully get more returning customers.
Fantastic. What is the most unique piece you've ever done?
Well, there's one I guess I can't really say. It's maybe past PG-13. Other than that, I would say something much like the skull Viking here, or possibly the chief with the falcon. Those are a couple pretty unique ones. Otherwise, some of the on-site stump carvings that I do, those get to be very large pieces that spread several ways and can have, half a dozen different subjects in them. So
a tree falls, but the base is all still there.
Or
So
the top starts to die or something, and they realize it's either going to cost us a lot of money when it hits our house in a windstorm, or we can have it, semi-cut on the way down, and then have me carve it. So those are high stress as well, because there's no screwing up there. It's somebody's tree, and it's usually in a pretty important spot. But I enjoy the challenge, and it always turns out, and we have a great time with it.
Well, great. Now, do you have a website or a Facebook page people can check all of your great work out on?
Yes, we are actually flipping our website as we speak right now, but it is andylakewoodworks.com. So it's just our full company name.com. And on there you'll see new carvings coming up from the past year or so since the fire. And then we also are getting our whole building system laid out for people. So instead of having to visit with me here, they can go on the website and get most of their information there.
Well, that's fabulous. And the buildings are really, really interesting. If you've ever thought about one of these log homes, they should definitely stop in and take a tour of the different pieces that are here. It's really kind of fun and interesting.
Yeah, our buildings, it's not going to be a $2 million log home by any means, but the nice part about it is it's these little 12 by 30 pieces. That's your limitation, but they're always delivered in fully built chunks. So many times we're dropping off somebody's cabin and we're in and out in a day, and they get to enjoy it that very night. We don't have to rip up land, or spend months with machinery and stuff everywhere. All the work is done off-site, and we just bring it and drop it off and set it up. And it's really fun in that sense because we don't have to beat up the land. A lot of times people are putting a lot of time into land that is almost untouched, and we get to kind of sneak in there and put this cabin in. So it is very fun. Yeah.
That's really neat. Well, it's been a pleasure to meet you. It's Scott Petry, and he is here at Andy Lake's, and it's right off Highway 10 in Glyndon, and people can just stop in. You're pretty much open every day.
Yeah, it's we don't have quite set hours as of now. We do have an employee or two now that will be here when I'm gone. Like I mentioned, the stump carvings off-site, that can take me away from here for a little bit. And of course, I like to do other things other than work as well. But so as of right now, we don't quite have set hours. A good way to go is either stop in and check it out for yourself. We leave things quite open for people. Otherwise, just get a hold of me and schedule a meeting, and we can visit.
Okay, great. It's Scott Petry, and this is pretty cool. I'm happy to see all of this. It's a lot of fun. Check it out for yourself and buy one at least for your cabin. At least.